believe it's your responsibility as an RVP to push up people, to build people, not sell, to promote your people. Yes, when they hit the guidelines most of the time, but sometimes early. If you err, always err promoting people early, never err holding people back. Let me tell you what the dream was to me. I founded this thing. Let me just tell you the way I thought, because when I founded A.L. Williams, and I recruited my first guy, Bob Buson, that was in 1972. I started in 1967, so I'd already been in this crap for 5 or 6 years, right? And so let me tell you what the dream was to me. I had a great life. I loved coaching football. I loved that. That was all I wanted to do as a youngster, was be a coach. And the dream to me in going in business and becoming an RVP is I wanted to be my own boss. And most people feel the same way. All the people in this room feel the same way. There are millions and millions and millions and millions of people out there in America and Canada that feel the same way. But I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be totally financially independent. That was an obsession with me and all 85 of those other people. I wanted to be in a position, John, where nobody could put their thumb on me. Do you know how wonderful it is? I told John Addison, I love old John. He's got a heart. He leads with his heart. But John asked me to speak today, and first, I said, "What time you want me to speak?" Mike Burris called me. He said, "Well, you start off at 8:30." I said, I don't do that no more." I said, "I don't even know what an alarm clock is." I said, "I get up when I want to get up." And I said, 95 is packed with people, getting to work from 6 to 8. It's like Atlanta, Georgia. I hate Atlanta, Georgia. I can't get nowhere. It's just right? And I said, I don't speak till 10 o'clock or 10:30. I get up when I want to, I shave and shower, I have breakfast, and I leisurely ride down here listening to A.L. Williams songs. See, I'm financially independent. I don't have to take crap from nobody. See, number two, the reason, the dream to me was, number one, being my own boss. Number two, being totally financially independent. Number three was to work at something I'm passionate about. That's what life's all about, folks. I still love this stuff. You understand that? Can you imagine me doing this? I don't have to do, me and Norm were playing golf, and Dave Francis and Bill Arenda. I could be out there right now at Trump International practicing my golf game. But I'm down here talking to you because I love it. You want to have something you're passionate about. And then the last thing I wanted is I wanted a great quality of life. I didn't want to go in business and just have a crappy life just for the money, just to go out there and screw up your whole everything. I wanted to have it all. I wanted to have a great family. I wanted to enjoy my business. I wanted to love my people. See, the dream we're selling at A.L. Williams was not running a base shop forever. It was not being a fanatic forever. It was not field training greenies 4 and 5 nights a week forever. It was not being on a treadmill forever. That's a nightmare. You understand that? That's a dadgum nightmare. Our dream at A.L. Williams was to work hard. Yes, be a fanatic, kill yourself the first few years, but work hard so you can enjoy a great quality of life. I believe in achieving this great quality of life, you go through 4 phases. Phase number 1, the first few years you are a fanatic. You're out there working 4 or 5 nights a week, training these greenies. Then you enter phase number 2 when you're still running a base shop, but you're starting to promote RVPs and opening new offices. And then you enter phase number 3, where you're promoting more RVPs, and your RVPs are starting to promote RVPs. And now your base shop activity becomes smaller. You recruit less people personally. You enter the field less. And then you enter phase number 4, where you're having fun. You're traveling around talking to your people, helping them reach that great quality of life. The key to building a successful business is building trusting relationships. Building trusting relationships is everything. This is a relationship business. How do you get people to trust you? How do you get people to love you, to commit to you, to be loyal to you? to give you 100%, to believe in you. Another unwritten law. You get people to trust you by you being there, by you being loyal to them, by you believing in them. But you got to prove it. You got to prove it. Let me give you 3 examples. Bob Miller was the first person I recruited down here in South Florida in Fort Lauderdale. He had gone out and replaced a coaching friend of his cash value policy with a term policy with A.L. Williams. That guy's whole life, guy came back and said, well, if you wanted term, I could sell you term. And he replaced our A.L. Williams policy with his term that was maybe 3 pennies a month cheaper than our term. And I talked to Bob Miller on the phone. He was a little down and whatnot. And I said, Bob, next week I'm going to be in Fort Lauderdale. I want you to call that coach and set up an appointment. And he said, Art, I don't want to do that. This guy's a friend of mine. All I wanted him to do was have term. He's got term now. I'm happy with that. Let's just leave it alone. I said, no, Bob, that ain't right. I said, call that guy up and I want to see him. Bob made an appointment. I flew down to Fort Lauderdale. Bob Miller and I went out and we had a meeting with that guy. And I said, let me tell you something. That ain't right what you did. Bob Miller, your friend, came in here and educated you on buy term and invest the difference. And that asshole that sold you, hush, John, that asshole that sold you cash value policy, now he's going to come back after Bob Miller educated you, and he's going to sell you now a term policy, which that asshole should have sold you the first go-round, you know, and it just costs us 3 cents a month cheaper. You going to do business with, you got to be kidding me. And you know what? He changed back to the A.L. Williams policy. Hey, he never came full time, but he was an A.L. Williams crusader for the next 20 years. You got to be there with your people when they need you. You got to prove that you're loyal to them, that you believe in them, that you're a stud. I get an emergency call from Mississippi Insurance Department puts us out of business. The headline in every major newspaper, A.L. Williams kicked out of the state. I called Bill Anderson, which was our biggest guy there at the time. I said, Bill, call an emergency meeting of all the A.L. Williams people. I'm coming. I didn't run from that. I jumped on an airplane. We go to a hotel. We have a meeting like this. I said, let me tell you something. We're trying to change an industry. Did you think it was going to be easy? Do you think those jokers were going to roll over and play dead? That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to fight. They're supposed to fight dirty. They're supposed to try to put us out of business. This is the way it's supposed to be. But you know what? They ain't going to do it. We're going to knock your ass off. We're going to come back. 2 weeks later, we were back in Mississippi that year. We had the biggest year we ever had. I get a call one day from Ronnie Barnes. Tennessee kicks us out of business for a week. We go up there and we straighten that out. I get a call from Ronnie Barnes a few weeks later. The Better Business Bureau took a full-page ad out in the Chattanooga Times. Said, warning, don't do business with A.L. Williams. Gave an 800 number for you to call, and they'd tell you, we've been outlawed in 98 states and all that kind of crowd. I told Ronnie Barnes, I called him up, I said, Ronnie, go get the best lawyer you got in Chattanooga and we'll pay for it, and you tell them we're going to sue their ass. And they backed off in 24 hours. You gotta, to build trust in relationships, you gotta be there. You gotta be loyal to your people. You got to believe in your people. And it ain't good enough to talk it, you got to show it. Another unwritten law. Before any business activity takes place, you must have a relationship first. You must have their trust first. Let me give you an example. I never made a sale on the first interview. I understand some of you people do that. It's just almost, I can't even comprehend somebody doing something like that, you know? I mean, I was just a football coach. I never had anybody really train me. I sort of trained myself, you know? But I said, you know, I don't want somebody to walk in my house and put pressure on me to buy something and all this kind of crap, you know? I never made a sale for 20 years on the first interview. The purpose of the first interview is to build a relationship. You want to go in there dressed not like an insurance agent, but like a coach, right? And you go in there and you're with his best friend and you're building a relationship, right? He's getting to know you and where you came from and what your principles are and all that. You're building a relationship. And then the second purpose of the first interview is you pick up information, then you take it home, you analyze it, you prepare a plan, then you go back on the second interview and you make the sale. I don't know any other way to do it. But yeah, it takes more time to build it right. It takes more time to build it right. But it's worth it to build it right the first time. Trusting relationships is everything in every part of your business. Before they buy a life insurance policy, they got to trust you. Before they buy an IRA, they got to trust you. Before they pay $100 to join Primerica, they got to trust you. Before they take off and pay their expenses to go to the convention, they got to trust you. Before they go full time, they got to trust you. Before they make a replacement, they got to trust you. In every single area of your business, trusting relationships is everything. The simplicity and the common sense of A.O. Williams is something I was very proud of. Let me just give you 4 examples. Number 1, you've got to build with quality. You've got to build it right the first time. See, we built with 4 and 5 pointers. Married, got kids, got a home, have a job from 27 to 55. Do you make exceptions? Sure you do. But 90% of your team better be 4 and 5 pointers. Build with quality and build it right the first time. Number 2, the A.O. Williams system. This is simple. We simplified this thing. If you're a stud, the better you get, the more simple you simplify things. A.O. Williams was a warm market company. We never got on a cold telephone. We never knocked on a stranger's home. We never made a cold call. A.O. Williams was built on relationships. Step number 1, you recruit a part-timer with 4 or 5 best friends. Not 50 or 100 like Tom Hopkins teaches and all that crap. You recruit a part-timer with 4 or 5 best friends. Step number 2, the part-timer calls his best friend and sets up an appointment. Step number 3, you get in the field with that new recruit within the first 2 or 3 or 4 days. That's it. That's our whole system. The sales process is no pressure. You never sell on the first interview. There's 3 steps. The first interview, you start building a relationship. You pick up information. Then you go back and you make an analysis. You make a plan. You go to step number 2, you show the plan, you make the sale. Step number 3, you deliver the policy. You recruit the guy. Now, I know y'all got this computer crap, you know, where you can sit there in the office and you can zap that damn thing up and you can get it issued instantly and you can get a quick paycheck. But that's a disaster, Jimmy. See, all this computer crap y'all got is some good stuff, but the fundamentals of building a team don't ever change. And any asshole that tells you any different don't know what in the hell they're talking about. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it. Let me give you another unwritten law. I think it's stupid to send your recruits to one of those Tom Hopkins sales training crap. It's so stupid on so many levels, I ain't even going to be stupid enough to sit up here and try to explain it to stupid people. Number 4. Number 4. I told John, 4 times I told John, don't invite me down here. I said, John, I'm going to upset some of your people, but the people I upset needs to have their ass upset. I can tell you that. Number 4. Number 4. Have high standards. Do it right the first. Have high standards. You know, one of the greatest moments in an athlete's life is to get that leather jacket. Ain't that right, Larry? To get that leather jacket. Man, that meant something, right? To get that leather jacket with that K on it, that means you were a stud. all the girls looked at that and just, right? Man, you were a stud. You were part of a team. You were something else. You weren't like all the other students. You wear that leather jacket, though, you got a responsibility, right? You out there drinking and doping and doing bad things, then people that see you with that leather jacket, they think I'm like you. They think you ain't gonna do it. I got this out of A.O. Williams' way. I wrote this in 1985. The A.O. Williams image. A leader must look like a winner, talk like a winner, act like a winner, and be a winner. Dress conservatively. Don't recruit people that got these earrings in their eyelids and nose and tongue. No alcohol served at any A.O. Williams meeting or convention. No excessive offices. We make money in the field, not in the office. No limousines. Y'all know what timeout is with your kids? It's hard to believe, but we had one RVP. I was speaking at a meeting up north somewhere. I won't even tell you who it is or where it was. And all of a sudden, I'm walking into the arena, and this big old long limo pulls up. And some guy steps out that's coming to the meeting. And I put that RVP on timeout. No limousines, flashy cars, and all that crap on company business. You live within your means. You have a good financial image if you're going to be a leader in our company. You got to make money, save money, pay your bills, be a good citizen in your community. Have high standards. As president of A.O. Williams, I've always tried to look dignified. Check out these orange shoes I wore out here today. Have a good personal image. Don't let money and success change you. Remember where you came from. Always be a good, caring person. Have a great family life. Spend time with your family. Take care of your family. Always be positive, a personal example. People respond to things you do and the way you live more than the things you say. Always have the highest standards of honesty and integrity. Be honest and be above board in everything you do. Let me close with this. To be a great leader, to build great teams, you've got to become a great encourager. Another unwritten law, everybody needs somebody to encourage them. Always remember this flashing sign on everybody's chest that you recruit on your team that says, make me feel special, make me feel important, I want to be somebody. Everybody needs somebody to encourage them. Growing up in Cairo, Georgia, I was never great at anything. I was never a great athlete, just pretty good. I was never a great student, just average. I never thought I could make big money. I never thought I could run a big company. In every way, I was pretty average on the outside. But I was blessed to have somebody that was a great encourager in my life. Coach Taylor made me feel special. Coach Taylor made me feel important. Coach Taylor made me feel like, as I was a kid, that one day I was going to do something really important. Coach Taylor was my one hero in life. I'm 71 years old, and I remember it just right now, just like it was yesterday, sitting in that lunchroom, seeing Coach Taylor eat with those other teachers and coaches over there, or out on the basketball court or the football field, and I'd look at him and I'd say, man, if I could ever be good enough to be like him. If I could ever make kids feel special like Coach Taylor makes me and my teammates feel, that's the best thing I could ever do with my life. As a kid growing up, all I ever wanted to do was coach, was to make kids feel special. All I ever wanted to do was be like Coach Taylor. Everybody needs somebody to encourage them. Folks, if you want to build a great team, if you want to really make a difference with your life, if you really want to change people's lives, go be Coach Taylor. I love you.